Today I'm going to be talking about bronze chainmail, which is something I've been thinking about for the last week or so. Now, I did do a video on this before, at least I tried to do a video, but it ended up being too long. So today I'm going to try to condense this as much as I can. So, the short answer of the question, would bronze chainmail work? I would say kinda. It would kinda work, but there's more disadvantages compared to using iron chainmail. Now, with that out of the way, if you were just here for the short answer, you can go now. But for the slightly longer version, here we are. So, to go in depth, well, first we gotta set the parameters. The parameter is 800s BC all the way till 200s BC. So we have 600 years to work with here, to work with the idea of bronze chainmail. Now, who would invent bronze chainmail? Well, the same people who invented chainmail originally. Let's say the Celts invented bronze chainmail. Now, what would it look like? Well, it would look like the typical design of chainmail shirts, of at least the later half of the parameters we set, which is 400 to 200 BC. It would look like the usual design of chainmail. But here's the thing. The thing with that, the cons of bronze chainmail would be it would be more heavy than iron chainmail. Reason being, bronze is more dense than iron, but it's more soft than it's slightly more soft than iron. It's more dense than iron, which means it's gonna be more heavier than iron. And iron chainmail, in and of itself, is already heavy enough. Even like the most shortest chainmail shirt that can be reasonably made is still heavy. Now, the second thing is it would be more softer. But then again, bronze and iron are comparatively soft, and they're much more softer against steel. But then again, that's a given. Against steel, iron and bronze tend to lose out in the hardness scale. Now, with that being said, would it still function as chainmail? Well, yes, it would still function. You're just gonna have more downsides than the typical iron chainmail shirt. Now, the thing, it would still be flexible because it's a mesh of iron rings, or at least or in this case a mesh of bronze rings, and it would still be as flexible as it. It would just be more heavier than iron chainmail. By much though, it depends. It depends how many rings you put into it, how many more, like how long you make it. It all depends. The more length you add, the more weight it's gonna be. But even then, even the shortest configurations of mail are still gonna be pretty damn heavy comparatively against some to other armors of that era, like a bronze plate or an iron plate. And we're literally just talking about like an iron pectoral plate that goes here, that's strapped onto you. That's the Romans in the Punic War era. There we go. Punic War era. Some of the lower class, or at least lower ranked Roman soldiers, I think it would be the hastati. Yeah, the hastati. If they couldn't afford the better armors, they would just wear a bronze or iron pectoral plate, and boom, that would do. It would do for protection. But now, back on track. So, to recap, bronze chainmail would work. It'd be softer than iron chainmail. It'd be more heavier than iron chainmail. And would it be better than most armors of the age? Well, considering it's chainmail, yeah, it's better than wearing nothing. And it's better than wearing a single bronze or iron plate strapped to your chest. But, well, it definitely would last longer than iron chainmail in terms of rust. Bronze, when it does oxidate, it turns green, relatively, depending on how long it's left to oxidate. Iron, when it oxidates, forms rust, and rust, if left untreated, will rust away the material and render it useless. So, in that regard, bronze would last longer than iron chainmail, but there would still be more cons than pros when it comes to if you're choosing between, say, an iron chainmail shirt or a bronze chainmail shirt. So, would you wear it? I wouldn't personally wear it, but that's if you had the means and know-how to make bronze chainmail in the first place back then. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.